person withdrew. So there are 5 board members that were left after that, so we don't have to have an election, which is a blessing in disguise. Before we get to that, before we introduce the new board members, which will be at the end of it, I'd like to just call this meeting to order, and I'll do a roll call. Nancy Feenan present.
Bill Smigel present.
Harold Willard present. Okay, and then we do have a quorum, and there is this is the proof of the notice of meeting that was sent out to all of the people and also noticed in the law. Okay, and then those are the minutes of the meeting, and we have the minutes of the last meeting, which would behoove us to, because of the hurricane damage and everything, and the fact that we had a speaker at the last meeting, that the board would like to read these minutes. We will proceed with reading those minutes, and then we will move on to just a few other things. Okay, so the first order of business, this is of the January 30th meeting it was a special assessment meeting of the River Shores Board of Directors. The meeting was called to order by the President at 7 p.m. The first business was the introduction of a guest speaker from the Small Business Administration who was going to explain about SBA loans for hurricane damage recovery. The loan rate explained was 4%, and the cost per month would depend on the length of time of the loan, i.e. 3, 5, or 10 years. A lien would be placed on all units of the associated till the loan was paid in full. The FEMA/SBA adjusters would come to the property for validation of our loss claim within 100 days. After that, we could begin to fix the roof, and which that would bring us to the middle of May or the beginning of June. The speaker then took questions from the audience. The chairman thanked her for her time in driving to Miami to speak at our meeting. The order of business was a roll call of the board members. Mr. Eskenazi, Mr. Willard, Nancy Feenan, and Bill Smigel all were present. The chairman asked the secretary if the quorum was present. There was a quorum. The affidavit of the proof of the notice of meeting for the secretary was filed with the minutes. The chairman asked the secretary to present the minutes of the last meeting, the budget meeting on December the 16th, 2005. If there were no objections, the minutes would be filed without being read. The minutes were filed, there being no objections. The next order of business was to vote on a resolution letter for the line credit from the Colonial Bank used for the hurricane cleanup and replanting of the 41 lost trees. Trees are not covered by our insurance. The motion was made by Craig Eskenazi, Bill Smigel, roll call. Nancy Feenan, yes. Mr. Willard, yes. Craig Eskenazi, yes. And Bill Smigel, yes. The motion passed unanimously. Chairman next asked for a vote regarding the ability of an SBA loan. As a comment, the chairman stated she felt it was unwise to lien the entire association as collateral. The other board members concurred. The chair posted a motion reflecting the fact that the association did not wish to enter into such a loan. Bill Smigel, Ms. Megala made the motion, which was unanimously voted. Roll call. Nancy Feenan, no. Harold Willard, no. Bill, no. And Craig Eskenazi, no. Chairman next reported that one bid to date had been received on the roof damage, which was higher than anticipated. The figure would put the outlay over the $220,000 deductible amount of our insurance policy. This would require all unit owners to pay their share of the deductible, according to the percentage of ownership. Additionally, there was $30,000 to be repaid on the line of credit and $35,000 for the completion of the work on the decorative brick restoration. The assessment would total $288 and would be payable in 2 installments, February 15th and March 15th. The owners were advised to contact their insurance carriers regarding their loss assessment clause. Discussion ensued, at the end of which the chairman requested a motion to approve the assessment as presented. Craig Eskenazi made the motion, seconded by Harold Willard. The roll call was unanimous. Nancy Feenan, yes. Bill Smigel, yes. Craig Eskenazi, yes. And Harold Willard, yes. The next order of business was a brief discussion regarding window risk replacement. The board requested that owners present their needs in the office. Some owners have already placed orders. Any windows are 3 to 4 months out for delivery. Due to all the work needing to be accomplished on the property at the present time, we would have to address this matter later. The point was made that owners who purchase windows now would be forgiven that cost from the assessment for common element and other windows. They would still be responsible for their share of common element window replacement. The hour being late, the report on the completed special assessment projects was delayed until the next meeting. There was no other old and new business to discuss. A request was made by the chairman to adjourn the meeting. Bill Smigel made the motion, seconded by Craig Eskenazi, and the meeting was adjourned at 8:45 p.m. And it was submitted by Mr. Smigel, the secretary. Bill asked me to read the minutes because he doesn't have his glasses with him. So
as usual.
Those being the minutes. Okay, now the next order of business, we'd like to just briefly state that we have received 4 bids so far on the roof, and we have an appointment tomorrow morning with another company. All companies are are local to Florida, with the exception of one, and they all have Broward County either as a general contracting, roofing contracting licenses. However, of course, before any company is picked, everything would be, they have to present all the proper insurance papers and all of that. So these bids go anywhere from $250,000 all the way up to $383,000. The names of the company are Ameritech Roofing, All Weather, which is called B&B out of Miami, Roofing Concepts Unlimited, and Alameda. We know Alameda because they put the roof on here, on this building. The name of the company coming tomorrow morning is called Sunbelt Roofing. And we still would like you to know that we still have to have a meeting, or not so much a meeting, but as we have to hear from the official report from the insurance adjusters who were here on 2 different occasions and marched about on the roof and all over, because there were a number of other things that were damaged during the storm. That we have a list, which we presented them partially, the list, and they had the rest of the list of, and then they'll line things out. For example, we were able to fix our fence out there, although we had gotten a bid for it. The bid was like $3,000, and Harold and Steve were able to actually fix it themselves, and it worked out very well. But that cost us $600 to $800 by the time you figure in what they purchased, and then the time resolved with Steve's work, Steve's hours. Anyway, but there are other things that were on this list that they have to going to be able to help us out on, and we're waiting to have a discussion with them. We haven't heard from them yet. We have a place to call twice last week, so we should be hearing from them shortly. If we do, we'll let you know. And also, we would just like to say that of that last. In December, when we took the brickwork is that on the restorative brick, that's about 80 to 85% done, and within another, I'd say 2 to 3, by the middle of, what is this? Oh, hopefully by the end of April, that will be all completed, and it will all have been restored, and there will be no broken pieces up there on the walls around. And also the credit line that we used to clean up the place after the hurricane, and to purchase the trees and whatever, that has all been paid off. That was done. Now, let's see. I'd like to state, though, with regard to the collection on the assessment for the insurance, our deductible for the insurance is $220,000, and of that amount, $203,813 has been collected, of which $16,187 is still out. And some of the people that have not paid it have asked for an extension, which we have granted, which has been granted. And today we received this many checks upstairs that were being taken care of this morning. So this figure, as of this particular instance right now, is probably greater than, there's probably, the number is probably more than 203,000. But that was as of this morning before all the checks came in, the other checks. And the people that have not paid and have not asked for an extension, and as we say in a letter that was sent out, they will be sent to the attorney for collection, because an assessment has to be paid. There is no other, everyone has to pay the assessment. So, let's see, here's that. And then, previously, a few other, last year we had some assessments for a few other things, and the only thing that's outstanding that we have not accomplished, which we had to wait until the end of May, we had a contract with, I think you've seen them on the property, the Roto-Rooter people, and we have an ongoing problem with Bristol. And we found that we signed a contract with Bristol because at the time we didn't really know, because when I first came on the board, that there's a pipe that goes out that has a belly in it, if you will, and that has to be corrected. It has to be dug up, it has to be replaced, and that can't happen though until after May, when the contract with Roto-Rooter ends, and then we can take care of that issue. So there's yes, and that's. I'll take some questions if you want to pick up. Yes, sir. And Richard, and please.
Haven't you special assessed to have that pipe repaired already?
Yes. We can, yes, we have the money, but we cannot do it until the end of the other contract. Right, we have to, the bids that we have collected, the bids that we have on that were between one was 5, one was 7, one was $10,000. So that was, we have.
That was about a year ago.
About a year ago, and we did not, we figured, we didn't move down that, Richard, because we wanted to, we had to complete the contract with Roto-Rooter. So why would you, have the contract on one hand, have the guy flushing out your drains when you're working on, so we elected to wait until you can't do it. You had to wait until.
Which means you couldn't cancel the contract?
We didn't want to cancel the contract. You can't, you get out of the.
You special assessed for the contract.
No, we didn't special assess for the contract.
No, you special assessed to have it repaired.
Yes, we didn't realize the contract.
And you continued the contract.
We didn't realize the contract was for 2 years, Richard. So at the end of May, the contract will be finished and the work will be done. Okay?
Wasting money.
Oh,
Go
okay,
ahead.
that's okay, that's okay. Okay, that's,
It's okay.
yeah, it has to be repaired, yes. Okay. Well, it has to be repaired either way, so you can.
Yeah, but you special assessed for it to get it
Yes.
repaired, and you're continuing a contract to keep it open. I have a problem with that.
Okay, we don't have a problem with it, there's nothing I could do. There was
Was there a cancellation
a,
Did we have to keep going?
well, I didn't think it would be fair to the people in Bristol, because they have a problem very often, or either when this lift station goes down over there, or when there's a problem, still to have a tub full of stuff, because that has to be taken care of, and it's going to be, so. Well, we have to get another bid for it, obviously, because when you have a bid for anything, it's for, the bids are usually good for about 30 days, maybe 6 at most. So we have to, 30 to 60 at most. So those are my stories that I have to tell. And